All right, take two, people. Let's see. I'm going to give everybody a second to hop on. And again, guys, everything happens for a reason. This is a perfect example of, and sorry if my eyes are looking a little watery, the light. This isn't a perfect example of how things can, shift and how to learn how to roll with the flow. That's really, really important because things are shifting right now. Things are shifting right now, so we're learning how to roll with the flow. So this is a perfect example of that, especially in our lifetime. And guys, whoever is getting on right now, let me know if it's still choppy or if it's working. That would be super helpful. And I'll go over a tidbit of what we talked about already. So sorry about the choppiness of the internet. So let's see. Hey again. Okay, perfect. So far, so good. Good. Okay. So I'll go over the tidbits in the beginning really quickly. So a couple things is, number one, financial understanding related to 5D. So we're in a new era. It's a heart-centered era. It's learning how to listen to your heart instead of thinking and doing what we think is best, okay? And guys, let me know if it starts getting choppy again. So it's learning how to listen to your heart, and this includes finances, okay? The more we're in flow with money, and this includes energetic exchanges, it doesn't always have to be tit for tat, like, okay, if someone gives me, $40, I have to give them something that's equal to $40 in return. It doesn't always work like that. It matters what your heart is telling you. Okay, cool. So, so it's about listening to your heart. So again, why am I even talking about money for right now is because we're learning how to really step into our purpose, or we're being nudged into our purpose. So July 15th through the 23rd, we're going through an energetic shift, and the shift is really nudging us into our purpose. And money is one thing that can stop us, or not stop us, but we can tend to not shift into our purpose and fight this nudge if we're worried about money. So money is huge on a collective consciousness level because we're being pushed into our purpose. We have the old mentality of, but I can't do this because it's not going to get me, it's not going to provide for my family. Or I'm leaving, a very secure job for the unknown, for example. But here's the thing, guys, is that when we don't follow our hearts, so if our hearts are guiding us to go in one direction, and we know this and we feel it, and we know, it's time to leave this other job, but we don't because of the money, we're actually fighting this shift that's nudging us into our purpose. Not only that, we're blocking money. We are blocking money, okay? So when we don't listen to our hearts, and it includes financial matters, especially for the people who are very logical, it can have logic with it. It's not all about, and I feel like this is really important for some people. So when we're following the heart, as we continue to grow, our hearts and our minds, as we're in the 5D, and continue growing, our hearts and our minds are connected, so we can have the logic with the heart-centeredness. Because before, it seemed like when people were talking about money, it's like, yeah, sure, you're saying follow your hearts, do this, and it seemed very airy and not planned or orchestrated in a way. The logical people that are very set in their heads are like, but that doesn't make sense. But now, because we're in the 5D, we're learning how to put the heart and the mind together. This is huge for finances. Huge, okay? Because the heart and the mind are now connected in this 5D. And if you want to learn more again about the heart and the mind being connected, more about 5D, again, you can check out the Portal to Enlightenment workshop. It's you basically learn your role in your ascension, in the ascension 5D ascension process. It starts Monday. So this teaches you how to tune into your heart, those techniques, and how to, you know, connect your mind and your heart, even though, yeah. And also really, it tells you all about the shifts from the 3D to the 5D, okay? So in this 5D shift, in this 5D movement, when we are being pushed into our purpose, yet we have our minds telling us, but I can't leave my job for something unknown. Or you've been pushed out of your job because of COVID, or you're decreased in your amount, your pay, and you're still being called to follow some, like, another direction. It's like, yeah, but what about payment? So we're learning how to merge the heart with the mind, especially for the logical people. Some people are great. Some, you know, they have some really heart-based people. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Sam. They have some really heart-based people. And you've seen it. We tend to all categorize because we're trying to understand the world, that can literally just go off and explore. And then they have the really logical people that are like, wait, I need to plan, I need to calculate, I need to make sure this works logically. Okay, we're learning how to mesh those two. Okay, so whenever I say to follow your purpose, no matter what, you can have the logic in this. So don't dismiss it. And I'm talking to someone in here. That's what I'm getting with the whole logical thing and why it's coming up. Don't dismiss immediately that that, you know, following a dream is illogical, because it can have logic in it. Okay, but we need to get in more in tune with our bodies and start listening to what our bodies are telling us. So why is this important again? Because if we don't listen to our hearts and we resist the changes that are coming right now that are pushing us into what we love anyway, the more we fight it, the more we're going to be blocked. And it's not necessarily a negative thing. It's more saying, hey, you have this opportunity. Let go of the fear of money, right? And we'll talk a little bit more about that. Let go of the ideas of money, and let's move into, awesome, let's move into a whole new way of being with money. And again, this is really important if we're going to move into our purpose. Why? Because we're being nudged right now. How many of you, because I've already done a Zoom call with some of the members of the Lightworkers Acceleration Program, and it was all about like a major theme of it was all about purpose today. And again, we're in that specific shift again. So it's July 15th through the 23rd is this nudge and these energies of being pushed into our purpose. So I would love to see, and here's another thing, guys, is a lot of us may not know what our purpose is, but we may have an idea. So whenever I say push into your purpose, it's not like boom, slam there. It may be steps, okay? Or maybe changes that we need to make, okay? So let me know, comment down below, how many of you feel like you're being pushed towards what your heart is loving. Like, how many of you are being, like, pushed towards a way that your heart's like, woo! You could be resistant to it. I'm not saying that you're not. Again, it's hard to let go of old things that feel comfortable or feel stable. But let me know down below. And I'll watch that. So again, what we're doing is we're letting go of the 3D mind of scarcity. Okay, the 3D mind of scarcity. That's an old paradigm. That is an old paradigm. Scarcity is no longer, and this, guys, listen to your hearts with this, okay? Scarcity is no longer a thing unless we make it a thing. Now, when I say that, take what resonates with you, leave the rest, okay? But what we're getting into today is all about the 5D, which is the fifth dimension, right? That money is abundant, okay? Money is abundant. And to let go of those fears, because this is important, because we're being pushed in the direction, or nudged, I'll say nudge, in the direction of our purpose. So Dami said me, Jen said absolutely all year long. Awesome, awesome, Jen. Okay, so this is why we're talking about money right now. So let's talk about storylines. And this is interesting. So say everything that I just told you, you already know, okay? The question is have you noticed your storylines around money? Okay? We all have storylines around money, or had, if we really have done some work on ourselves. So I'm just going to list a few of the storylines about money. Okay? Number one is actually quite a few of them. A storyline of needing assistance. That for whatever reason you were always given money type thing, and you always need assistance from somebody, or for a part of your life you felt like you always needed that assistance and you couldn't get money any other way. You were stuck in a place of relying on other people. That's what I mean by assistance. You're stuck in a place of relying on other people. This is a storyline, or a possible storyline. Okay, that's one. Number two, you have to work your ass off, excuse my language, for money. You have to work your ass off for money. Okay? That's a storyline. Another storyline. Money doesn't come easy. Money doesn't come easy. Could that be, yes, you have to work your ass off, or it could just be money's hard, right? It just doesn't come easy. And that could go a few ways. Another storyline is I'll never be rich. I'll never be wealthy. Right? I'll never be rich. I'll never be wealthy. Another storyline is my role affects other people. It affects, other people in your family. If it directly affects your family. So if you fail with money, you're a failure. You're affecting other people. It's not just you. This is a huge one, because this will stop someone from pursuing where their heart is leading them. Why? Because they feel responsible, and that has been a huge storyline and a societal programming for many, many generations. Okay, so what does this mean? And I'm definitely gonna say this one first. This is huge, because if we don't move to where our heart is guiding us, then we're creating those same storylines and blocks. We're creating those same storylines and blocks. But the biggest thing about this is it's first the realization. So people are talking about manifestation. People are talking about creating your dream life. I talk about that all the time. In the Lightworkers Acceleration and somewhat in here. With that, it's about change. For number one, realizing what storylines you have, and then changing those perspectives. And I'll talk about the step-by-step to do that, okay? So Dami said, my mom always told me to turn around a coin 3 times before spinning. Huge blocks. Yeah, there's so many things that we just, maybe we didn't realize it. Maybe it's coming to surface now. The awesome thing is that as we're going from the 3rd dimensional beliefs aspects into the 5th dimensional, being, is that we're realizing that money is abundant. And that as we continue to follow our heart, the more money will pour in. But the thing is that it's not this, you just jump in there and boom. You still have to, you choose. And it's having also the realization. So, some of the storylines that I brought up, does this pertain to you? If so, cool, we can change that today. We can change that today. It is a choice of choosing. So whenever I talked about manifestation, it's crazy to believe how easy it is to let something go now. It's crazy to believe how easy it is to manifest. And I can sound like a crazy person until you experience it yourself. And I'm seeing my clients experience this, right? And I've seen many of you as I'm getting to know you in these groups experience this. That it really is that simple, but we have to let go of old beliefs. Those old beliefs aren't tied anymore, so we don't have those deep rootings and having to go generations back, like all of that stuff we don't need anymore, but it's the realization and knowledge to know that we can change these storylines. And what happens when we change the storylines? If we change it to something like I am abundant, for example, you create that for yourself. You create that for yourself. Okay. And again, and this is for somebody in here. I keep feeling this isn't part of my notes, but I'm feeling to tell somebody in here. Yeah, but like this is what I'm feeling from somebody else. Yeah, but logically it's like, how do I do that? Because, I still have yada yada yada, and this just seems so out there. Step by step, people. Step by step, which means following your heart with the step by step. What you need comes to you. It's about surrendering. No, I can't particularly sit here and pick out each person because then I wouldn't be able to teach, right? Finish what I'm doing. But with the very logical people that have had that belief or some type of idea of that, you need the logic. You can have the logic. You can have both. So just the realization of you can have both, and you don't have to see it out in a plan. But anyway, just the realization that you can have both is the first step. One of the first steps, which is a huge step. Huge step. Okay, that was for somebody. So Leigh said, the more I've worried about money, the more problems, and the more it eluded me. Now I refuse to worry about money. The universe and creator provided it in abundance. Thank you so much, Lisa, for saying that, and I really appreciate it, because that's exactly how it works. The more we listen to our hearts, which means being pushed and nudged into our purpose, which means following that love, that heart guidance, even if we don't know or don't see what's going to happen, even if it's scary to us, that's what brings us more money. Period. That's what brings us more money. Melissa says, same here. And the more we continue to notice our storylines and make those changes, boom, we're able to step into our purpose even more so and do what we came here to do, which is live. Live heart-centered. Because heart-centered means you're doing what you love, which is your purpose. It all goes together. And because you're so open and happy and have all the excitement, you have straight abundance. Straight abundance, okay? Again, the reason why I am pushed to do this video for today is, number one, for just to show that money is involved when I'm talking about manifestation. Money is involved in the whole heart-centered feelings and the heart-centered movements. Oh, there's somebody in here, sorry, I just got this, that is not taking a step because they're scared of money, which is exactly why I'm doing this this training. They're not stepping forward because of money, where in actuality, that stepping forward will bring the money. I don't know who this is for, but that's for somebody in here. Okay. So Rose said, I'm still learning because it's hard not to worry. Exactly. So what I'm going to talk about right now is the step-by-step to change your perspective of money. I'm not just going to talk about it, and I'm going to help you out a little bit today, but it's your steps in doing this, the understanding of it. So steps to change perspective of money. Number one is realization of storylines with no judgment. Okay, with no judgment. How do we do this no judgment thing? Accessing our hearts. How do we access our hearts? If you're unsure, you're new here, hop on the Portal to Enlightenment workshop, the first day is teaching you how to do that. Okay. There's also a PDF in the files tab or units tab. I can get you that. Number one is realization of storyline with no judgment. So to have no judgment is to learn how to access your heart and realize that yes, you've had a storyline, but don't judge yourself for it. We all had it. We're all experiencing. So how to not judge it? Heart center, or go to your heart, dive into your heart. Then you can realize you could have that realization come up and come of a place of love, because that's where you were and that's what you knew, right? The storyline, because that's what you were taught. Lisa said, Rosie, you will get there. Have patience with yourself. I love that. Absolutely love the support. I love the support, guys. And right on with that. Number 2 is remember what's important and put energy there. Okay? With manifestation, the more energy and focus you put into something, the more you're going to create it. Now, am I going to be specifically talking about money? Could be. But because we have so many storylines, or, you know, things with money, if you haven't even looked at it yet, and because we have more joy with other things in our life, we want to put the focus on other things in our life. For example, if we want more time, like why do we want more money? Is it more time with kids? Is it more time with or the ability to travel? Is it the ability to not worry? Is you want to flip it to the positive side. So basically, you want to remember what's important to you, why you even want that money, and put your energy there, because that's going to create more of whatever that is. Okay, and again, money will flow into it. So the third step is energy and focus on a new storyline. What does this mean? So for example, money is abundant. If we have the storyline of money is scarce, or we have to work our ass off for it, or we can't do what we love because it's, you don't make that much in that genre, or in that, not genre, in that industry, I'll say industry. That's a big one, which is coming up for somebody else. Somebody else is scared to make a move because they're not going to make that much, or they think they're not going to make that much or enough, or I'm getting that much if they switch. Okay, that was for somebody. So one new storyline is money is abundant. It really is. So it's learning that perspective, repeating that perspective. And I can do what I love and still be supported. I can do what I love and still be supported. Why? Because this is how it works. The more we're in line with our heart, the more we're not blocking ourselves. There's more joy, there's more love, we're creating more of it, okay? So I'm just going to say those steps again. So number 1 is the realization of the storyline. This is why I gave examples. What storylines are you still carrying, if any? Okay, what comes up? We're not going to sit there and force. If nothing comes up, don't force it. We're not about forcing anymore. It's about surrender and allowing for things to come. So if a storyline comes up, and you can do this, you can, ask that question in a meditation. You can ask that question in journaling. Let it come. So realization of storyline with no judgment. Again, how do you do the no judgment? Make sure you're in your heart. Okay. The number 2 is remember what's important and put energy there. So the more we want to sit there and say, sit there and focus on the worry, that's when we want to change our focus onto what's important. So and here's a perfect way, Rosie, is say if we're wrapped in that worry of family, we can change, not family, money, and worry about money. Just literally focus on your family. What makes you happy? Change that focus. It doesn't have to be about money, because if we think about money, we're going to go back to those negative thoughts, right? So change your focus into something new that makes you happy. And Dami said trust is huge here. It is, but trust comes with time as we continue to grow and learn. So yes, 100% Dami. Thank you for that. Okay, so number one, realization of the storyline with no judgment, which means being heart-centered. Number two, remember what's important and put energy there. So again, if we get stuck in worry, literally shift your mindset to what makes you happy, like your family, and start thinking about that. The minute you go back to money, if you know money brings you down, shift it back to family. And number three is energy and focus into a new storyline. If you feel like centered, if you want to do a meditation there, want to journal, you can start writing and creating a new storyline for you. For instance, money is abundant. For instance, I can do what I love and still be supported. And number three, and that is number three. Okay. Now, this is to remember all of this creates, I don't even know what I wrote right there, but basically it is stating that when we change our mindset, we change our reality. And before, I wouldn't have taught this. I would not have taught this training. Why? Because even before this, before these shifts of 2020, 2019, I would not have not taught this training. Why? Because people can sit there and the little things of, trying to change their reality, but people needed more than that. Then the people who taught it were right on point. They were right on point. But now, because of the changes with the energies, because of the shifts, we can change our reality so much faster and therefore see results. And that's why I'm teaching it. Because I like people people get results from me. And I'm saying that like hands down, people get results. So I would not have taught this in 2019. I wouldn't have. So, and the reason why I'm saying this is not anything with me. It's more of you have the ability to change your thoughts and therefore change your reality. And I'm saying this with such conviction because it's 100% true and doable in such a short amount of time, way more than you believed it ever was possible. Now, in 2020, because of these shifts that are moving along. So, how do you do this? Okay, I've already given you the step-by-step process. Here's the thing: follow your heart, follow your heart, follow your heart. It's huge. And this is why I was talking about a new art era with following and being heart-centered. The more you follow your heart, the more you're going to make those changes, right, into being pushed into your purpose, nudged into the direction, I should say, if you don't know what your purpose is, of your purpose. And that is going to open up more opportunities for money. But here's the thing. It's not about more money, more money, more money. It's about you being supported. So some people it may be all like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, that is possible, totally possible. But if you sit there thinking, if I want more money, more money, more money, why? So trust that you are supported when you follow your heart and that everything is guided, and that is where you let go of the blocks. That is where abundance comes in. And again, the only reason why I'm teaching this one for today is because I was guided to, because we're being pushed into our purpose, or nudged into our purpose, and to trust that if you follow, your guidance, right? And I say your heart center, if you follow that, just like knowing you need to go a certain direction or do something different, or being pushed in a different direction, that the more you follow it, the more the abundance will come in and you'll have exactly what you need. Okay. Sam said, thank you so much, Lauren, needed this now. Yeah, it's huge because a lot of us may have been nudged in the direction, and say we don't even know our purpose. Okay. So say I'm a person who doesn't know my purpose. I may have been nudged into direction and I'm just like, excuse my language, or I'll just say this, what the hell? Right? It could be scary. Immediately when we get into this fear zone, okay, that it's, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm in this unknown. I'm being pushed in this direction, but the direction doesn't show a lot of money in front of me. then most likely I'm not going to choose it because of I'm so used to the past of choosing the way that has to provide the money. It doesn't always work like that. It's more of following your heart, learning step by step to follow your heart, and noticing as you do, doors open up. As you go a little further, doors open up. You are always supported when you are following your heart. The difference is of what is supported, okay? What is supported? That's where it can get confusing, but you have everything that you need, okay? And more opens up. And because we're learning how our thoughts and focus and energy is creating and manifesting, especially on the third shift that I had mentioned in the two Tuesday Live trainings ago. We're about to go into a shift, the third shift in August, of manifestation, and this is on a mass consciousness, okay? So as we continue to manifest, we're going to manifest exactly what we need, even more so, okay? Where the energy and focus is going, that's what we're creating in our reality. So as that shift is going to be coming up in August, for the mass majority, like really even more so pushed in that direction of manifestation. This is important to know, because if we choose the path, and guys, it's not always perfect. If we choose this way because we're unsure, we may get a little more hints, right? And then maybe we have opportunities to choose differently. And it's not like you choose this, you're dead and gone. No, everything is just learning. Okay, I needed to say that for somebody, because the fear of, well, what if I choose the wrong way? You're fine. Just listen to your heart as much as possible. So yeah, the shift's coming up with manifestation. If we do choose to go into the direction that has more money, but not where our heart wants to go, we're manifesting more of a life that we're not happy with. And when we're not happy, we're creating more not happiness, because our energy and focus is being put into not being happy, because that's what we're feeling and where we are, right? Okay, so I know I've dragged on with this. Anything else? Let me know if you have any questions. And nope, I'm feeling it's good to go. And sorry for the glitches. A quick reminder, since this video is going to be posted, Monday the 27th is the workshop, Portal to Enlightenment, Your Role in the Ascension Process. If you've already come, you still get new information and new experiences with the meditations, the ascension, like all of that. You still get new things. So if you feel guided to come second time, please do. Listen to your guide. If you don't feel like, listen to that. Number 2 is the prizes. There's daily prizes, including a scholarship opportunity. That's going to be in the email that is going to be sent out 3 days prior to the workshop. Yeah, and then the workbook, that's going to be included in the email, and I'll be getting to everybody who did click yes for going, to make sure I do have an email for you to send you that information, because prizes, right? We all love prizes. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for coming, and see you if you're joining the Portal to Enlightenment next week. Woo, can't wait to see you there. Again, if you have any questions or anything, make sure to tag me. Facebook is still finicky. If I don't get back on it, it's because I didn't get the tag, and Facebook's been doing that for a while for me, where I literally do not get the message that I've been tagged. So if you do tag me and I still don't respond to you, it's Facebook. Or maybe I've missed it, but mostly it's been Facebook. With that being said, you can always reach out via direct message or Facebook Messenger. Okay, thank you guys so much for coming. I am getting one more thing, though, really quickly, is to do the steps for changing perspective. Is number 1, realizations of storylines with no judgment. You can do that with journaling or meditation, just really surrendering. Number 2, And then no judgment is going into your heart. Number 2 is remembering what's important and putting energy there. So if your mind starts to go off into negativity with money, shift your focus on a family, shift your focus on a traveling. If you're going to travel, wherever you want that more of. Number 3 is put energy and focus into new storyline when you're doing your meditation, journaling, whatever you do for yourself. And the new storyline could be something like money is abundant, or I love what I do, and I can do what I love and still be supported. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Have an amazing time, and I'll see you next week. Bye.